はい、HataQです。キングダムズ・オブ・アマラー、続きをやっていきましょう。で、一応ね、これでね、全部入りたいところっていうかは、入ったことにはなってるんだよね。で、家の中にいたクエストも全部受けてるはずなので、本当に終わってる状態ではあるんだ。あとはこのメインクエストだね。ただ前回もメインクエスト、難易度もあったけど、長かったからね。今回もどうでしょうって感じなんだけど。
Waiting for you. Please, grand as this is.
Conceived in chaos, birthed in stolen magic, torn from fate, child of two fathers, treacheries in treacheries, winter is broken. The puppet king upon his throne, drinking flattery and lies. The power that grows in him is not his own. In the east it did begin, as it will end. From behind the veil she screams. Madness and rage. Madness and rage.
We realize this may be confusing for you. Fate, like the Fae, cannot be changed. But the Tuatha are Fae who have become something new. And you are a mortal who is free from Fate's weave. Gadflow claims that the Tuatha are the work of his new god. If the Tuatha are the creations of a god, what does that make you? The time of the Fae is passing. Our land and our souls are diminishing. Few Fae even realize that the great cycle is shifted. Gadflow's war means the death of us all, Fae and mortal alike. It is written in the weave that we shall all pass from this world together. It is too late for us, but not for you. That is the fate which I look to you to change. The power of a god in the brash hands of a mortal. This is why Niralim fears what you might become. This age has seen much change. Change we once thought was impossible. We were wrong. You are intertwined with the power in the East. There can be no doubt of that. Your energy reaches back to Alabastra. We do not know what will happen when you travel there, but we know that the power behind Gadflow is your ultimate goal. His god holds your answer and the fate of this world. I thank you, and perhaps you can help change our world's fate as well. I have seen those who were destined to be heroes, for whom great deeds came naturally. They come, they act, and they pass on as written. You do great things not because you must, but because you choose to. That is by far a far truer greatness.
これメインクエストって拒否できたのかな。やんなきゃいけないんだろうけど。 まあでももうこれなんだね、結局ね、選択していくのはね。右上右上を選択するような形にしないと進まないんだね。
Speak with your allies. Only with their aid can you hope to overcome the forces that stand against you.
なんかカード、でもまあ、これはなんか、そっか、勝手に追加されるやつかな。
Do not think the Winter Court are enemies, for we love them as family, dismal though they may be. Oh, to walk in their starlit gardens once again, or sip their calming stone tea. But the Tuatha have consumed them, and all of their wonders are lost. It is the deepest tragedy that our fall should come from our own. Make no mistake, Gadflow is the harbinger of the end of my kind. In fighting him and his army, you will surely spell our doom. For that tragic truth, we forgive you. We are the dreams of warmth and safety, given physical form. But these dreams are endangered by Gadflow and the long winter. The summer and winter courts have always ruled the Feylands in harmony, as the seasons wash across the world. But with Gadflow's new god, something changed. The Winter Fae who followed him called themselves Tuatha, and bore a mark of Prismere upon them. Their power has grown, and yet they are diminished. Since our kind returned to this world so long ago, it has been my honor to serve as High King of the Summer Court. My rule was always shared with the High King of the Winter Court, until Gadflow arose. Now both of our people are in peril. The weave is a puzzle. Each person is a piece, the edges of their fate locking together with the people around them, all performing their duties to form a grand picture. However, you are no longer a puzzle piece. You are a dollop of paint. You cover and redefine the edges of the puzzle pieces you meet. But more dangerously, you repaint the picture of reality itself. Who can trust that your design is better than the original?
で、クエスト完了？嘘でしょ？これだけ？なんかでもこれで話がつながってくるかな。
I couldn't make out half of what the king was saying, but it sounds like you've got your work cut out for you. Good thing you won't be facing it alone. In fact, I think I've got a lead on finding an old friend of ours. Old Fulmerus Hughes, of course. If anybody can help, it's bound to be the gnome who brought you back to life. I've been asking around and I was able to make contact with his superior. He thinks he might be able to help find Hughes. No, he's a crafty one. If he got away from those assassins in the lab, like you said, I'm sure he found someplace new to hide out. And if anyone's likely to know where he'd go to find safe haven, it'd be the Templar who sponsored his work. His name's Octien. Go southeast to the Hollowlands. Templar Octien will be waiting there to discuss how you might find Hughes. You're not the only one on the hunt for Hughes. Octien has followed his trail to the Hollowlands.
そうか、やっぱりなんか結局生きてるはずだっていうことなんだね。で、話は進んじゃうんだ。だから選択肢がまあなんかぶっちゃけそんなにシナリオそのものを大きく変えてしまうようなことはなさそうな感じするね。素直に探すか否定するか肯定するかなんだけど結局それやれやって言われちゃうんだね。
Strange crystal, Prismere. It's normally a shade of blue, but when you treat it and charge it with magic, it turns blood red.
さてと、そうなるとだよ。これなんだ、もう一個丸ついてんだけど、これは何の丸なんだろうな。 白丸ってことは別のクエストだよね。どう、これはそうか。この人と話せってことかな。なんか時々クエストのね、入れ替わりがあったりしてね。シアター、あ、これはこれでこのクエストね。で、こっちはこっちでって感じか。で、今の話の続きだとこっちに行けってことだね。そうか。じゃあまだメインクエストここに来てあれだね。つなげなきゃいけなくなるんだね。そうそう、常にこっから発注されるんだったら、もしかしたら適当なタイミングでやっぱ次のステージに行っちゃった方がいいのかもしれないね。で後で戻ってくるとかね。の方がいいのかもしれない。さあ、どこに行けって。これはこれで新しいここに行きなさいと。そういうことか。なるほど。ってことは、そうだね。ここがメインクエストの発注元になるような感じなんだね。中央のこの城が。なので、だったらこのまま、次のステージに行っちゃってもいいんじゃねえかな。そんな感じするね。というわけで行きましょう。新たなステージに旅立ちましょう。こっちシリーズじゃねえな。こっち編に行きましょうか。で、一応もう街自体は見つけて、入れる場所は見つけてて、入ってない村が各村のところの入り口のところは今のところはほぼ入ってないので、そこに入りつつできるのかい。入りつつね、基本的には外にいる、滑るね。外にいるクエストね、発注をメインに、あとは家見つけたら家の中入って家の発注者もいれば受けてっていう形で発注者を順番にやっつけていくという感じになりますね。で、発注者、最初の発注者っていうか宝箱も結構あるね。村のところにもいくつかあるので、上3つ、あの辺をちょっと受けよっか。一応マップ自体は全部移動してるからね。あと近くの宝箱は拾っていくと。はい。で、この上のところにいますな。この上。ここもあるんじゃない？宝箱。結構宝落ちてんな。あれ？こんなにあったっけ？あれ、俺の記憶だとなんか宝って拾ってったような気もするんだけどな。何度も出たもんだっけ？で、この先か。あれ、俺ね、多分拾ってると思うんだけど、これ、時間湧きすんのかな、宝って。隠されたガジェットってなんだろう、すごいビリビリしびれてんだよな。じゃあまず端っこから行きましょう、こういうのって。いた。じゃあまずは君から行きましょう。
Would you spare a moment? I have a favor to ask you. In appearances, perhaps, I'm just an alpha that needs your help. I have a few belongings to sell, and unfortunately, I've done little to endear myself to Aiton's folk. Will you sell them in my stead? The arrangement is simple. I give you an item, and you sell it. I take a cut, you keep the profit. And will repeat until I have nothing to sell. Understand? I thought you had the look of a trader about you. I have several items for you to sell. If you prefer, you could just buy them all now from me and sell them later.
これ。まずこっちで。
The items are in acceptable condition, if nothing else, but they might stand a little polish here and there. Take my silverware, for example. It's somewhat tarnished, but Banron could use the metal. If you melted it down, he'd likely pay more for it.
材料を買えってことかな？
sell it. Banron, the local smithy, will have use for the silver, I'm sure. If you process the silver down to a raw form, he might pay more for it.
まあそうだね、なんかね。
It was not always the empty place you see now.
品物から材料、素材を抜き取ってその素材を高く売って儲けろみたいな感じのノリだよね。
This used to be a peaceful place full of farmlands. It is still a quiet place, but now the freemen are lurking around just looking to murder and thieve. Not much to speak of, just another soul wandering the plains trying to get by.
さて、じゃあ7に入れろと。金出さなくてもよかったんじゃねえの？よこせって言えばもらえたってことだよね、これだと。いた。
Welcome to the clanging hammer. Don't see many new faces in Aten these days. My forge is open. I've seen this before. I made these for Retifer, back when he was still lording over us. I suppose the war finally caught up with him. That was good silver if I recall. But I've many other jobs to deal with before I'll get to salvaging it. Fine, here's some coin. Before Talarain fell to ruin, it was Aten's fields and villagers that stocked and supplied the various citadels there. But the war hit us hard. Bandits plagued the roads. Even Rond Farm has burned to soot. It's quiet here, farmland mainly. But between Rond Farm and the Freemen, we've got our own worries. They have been lingering around the wolds. Be cautious on the roads out there. Those Freemen like to sneak up on wanderers. Forge is yours whenever you need.
で、更新したな。で、今度は何？これ7に入れろ。
How goes our business? For your sake, I hope it is smooth. I never thought I'd see the day when I'd be happy to see such a paltry sum. I suppose the townsfolk are happy on my behalf. But let the past lie. I've another item for you. My kerchief. Slightly, worn, but the material is special. Of the sort alchemists employ for handling reagents. Askel Thorin might buy it. He's a stubborn one, but he's weak at haggling. See what you can get out of him. Askel Thorin, the local alchemist, is interested in it. The cloth is normally used for handling sensitive reagents and potions. See what kind of price you can get out of him. Maybe I was someone once before, when the war was just a small conflagration in Cluricon. But by the time we heard the war front was coming, it had already reached us. And like a fool, I smiled at the opportunity.
で、今度は何？スカーフを売れと。これってまあ終わりあるんだろうな。いつまでもなんかこれ売れじゃないよな。てかこんな近い場所なら自分で売れよって感じするけど。
Ratifer has an errand even for me? I'm honored. Tell me what it is you want. So, Ratifer's new errand runner is here. Ratifer's been in town for years, but this is the first time I've heard anything from him since he returned from Tuwili over 10 years ago. A messy business, not unlike alchemy. I've seen that rag of his, and I know its virtues. I'll part with some coin for it. If not for the slim flow of traffic between Rathir and Dalentar, there would likely not exist anymore. It's been worse since the war. In a few decades, we'll probably be like Talarain, completely ruined. It's quiet here, and I can appreciate that. But as the days pass and travelers grow scarcer, it becomes ever more difficult to make a living out here. My wife and assistant, she helps me run the shop, although sometimes she creates more problems than she fixes. Ruffians and bandits are scattered all over the wolds. It's dangerous wandering outside of town. Very well.
さあ、これも7に入れたから、また持ってけと。そのお金を回収かな。ほんとこんなの自分で売ればいいのにね。
What is it you need, stranger? How go my affairs? And I hope you've gotten out of Askel what you wanted for it.
またか。
I have another item I want you to sell. A pair of daggers. Finwick Ivor collects weapons, gaudy, gem-encrusted ceremonial ones, but weapons nonetheless. Some gem socketing may be of use. Take whatever you can for them. Just get them out of my sight. Sell them to Finwick Ivor. He's fancied himself a collector of these kinds of things. He's quite vain. If you socket a gem or two into them, I'm sure he'll pay more for the daggers. I was caught up in the war. Everyone with an able body marched to the east.
それアイテムのはめ込みもよくわかんないんだよな。どこでどうやってはめ込むのか。簡単にポンとはめ込めるのかと思ってたけど、それも実は一度も実現してないんだ。なんか説明らしい説明があった気しないんだけど。で、そうか、各家のところにそうか、それぞれの場所に1個ずつ売ってる感じかな。ってことは今のところ中に入ってもクエスト発注者がいたわけではないから、あら、ここじゃない？どういうこと？マークはこの中を示していたような気がするけど。
Stranger to Aiton, I'm the law in this town. Keep the peace and you are welcome to stay. If not,
入り口にいられると分かんないね、この移動系のやつはね。少し離れてほしいよね。今入り口の前を歩いてったからあれなんでしょう。入り口だと思っちゃったんだよね。
These daggers. You can't mean to say he had them after all these years. These are his prize from the Battle of Gallifore Fields, where Oriator and Ratifer pushed the Tuatha back to the coast. I'll buy them from you certainly. Town's becoming harder to protect. We get weaker every season, and the freemen know it. I do what I can, but we keep losing ground. Rond Farm burned not long ago, but it's too dangerous to investigate. Used to be peaceful farmland before the war was on. Now it's some scratched up dirt, home to Aiton and those murderous freemen. I am the law of the town. Aiton needed protection, and I didn't see anyone else willing to do the job. I took it upon myself to keep Aiton safe. Someone needed to do it. Keep the peace.
さあ、これで売り終わっおあ違うんだよ。頼むぜ。ダッシュボタンかぶらないでくれよ。よし、売ってきたぜ。
How go my affairs? Good. Sell this ring as well. There is a recluse who lives on the edge of town. Nell. The ring meant something to her.
なんだよ、さらに売るのかよ。
Age has taken its luster, but the potion from an acid solution will make it shine once more. Nell will pay handsomely for that, I think. It goes to Singing Nell, the hermit near town. She has a dowry, some gold saved away, I know it. The ring's tarnished with the years, but there's a secret. Douse it with acid solution, and that should wash it clean. When the war neared Rathir, I joined with forces on the Galafor plains. The Tuatha were pushed back. We chased them all the way back to Tuwili, hoping to end it there. We didn't.
まあこのクエストってあれなんだね。なんだろう、街案内用のクエストだね。ここに来た時にこのクエストを受ければ各入るんだね。こういうなんか家のところにね、それぞれ関係のある家、それをやらせるためのクエストでもあったんだね。で消えちゃったじゃない、全員きれいに。あとはそう、街外れにそうだね、もう一箇所こういうのがあるからね、ここのところで。さて、区切りも良さそうなんでね、今回はここまでということで、よかったらまた次回も見に来てください。チャンネル登録、そして良ければいいねボタンの方もぜひよろしくお願いします。それじゃあ、また会おうぜ。